We're back and we're live. It's game 2. LGD China facing off against Vici Gaming, the master returning to face the student. ZSMJ, he was ousted and replaced about 1.5 to 2 years ago from LGD China. That used to be the juggernauts, and then they made some roster changes, some big ones. Xiao Wei assumed the mantle of leadership and did a fantastic job leading them to quite a few tournament championships, a third-place performance at the International 2. They've had some roster changes. They've experimented with Long DD on the team. Now DD is back, and they find themselves down 1-0 in this best of 3. Vici Gaming actually leading the series. They did it on the back of a Wisp pick, but LGD Gaming, they're not afraid of that Wisp. They're going to leave it in the pool. This time around, they will have the Lone Druid, and Gods, we'll have to see if LGD can actually force a game 3, because Vici Gaming, strategically or not, even if that was the reason they had the advantage, they looked really strong and pretty damn polished as well in game number 1.
Yeah, they did. I have faith in LGD. I think they can do it, but we'll have to see what they go for here. I love the Shadow Demon early pickup from Vici Gaming, because based on last game, LGD can be like, is it mid? Is it farming? Is it a support Shadow Demon? Vici Gaming have shown that they can use this hero in a number of different ways.
Yeah, let's see how they choose to use it this game. They also have the Juggernaut at their side, so the potential for a very scary offensive trial is there. And normally when you see Juggernaut, you think a pushing lineup, but the pushing option is going to be somewhat limited as LGD claim the Leshrac, so they get the stronger follow-up stunning hero out of the Lita and Leshrac if you want to go for pushing. Clockwork will be the choice from Vici Gaming, a fantastic hero to disrupt Magnus, as well as Lone Druid in team fights. Boy, did we see that yesterday, and we played TV's Dota 2 League. Demon unable to find good RPs in that game, and although a lot of viewers might have been criticizing his Magnus play, a lot of it came down to the cogs. The cogs make it very hard for Magnus to jump in, even with the BKB, and find a good RP. So I love this pickup from Vici Gaming.
This draft here, though, from LGD, this is why I can see Vici Gaming doing well in game 1, then losing the next 2, because LGD are so good at reacting to their opponents. First, they take the Leshrac, preventing Vici Gaming getting it. Now they're banning out the Wisp. They're just reacting to what they saw from Vici Gaming, forcing them to pull out something completely different and new here in game number 2. And while LGD are doing that, they're picking to their strength. They get Sylar's Lone Druid. They get the Mag, probably for Yao, maybe for Xiao Wei in the mid lane. Either way, it's a draft which LGD can use and execute so well.
Yeah, let's see what they go for with that second stage. We will see a Wisp ban, and this is really where Wisp gets picked in Chinese and Asian Dota. You almost never see teams, outside of, I would say, Rising Stars, as far as your top and you know, tier 1, tier 2 teams go, who will pick Wisp in the first stage. They normally prefer to pick it as kind of a flavor pick, a surprise pick in the second stage, which means you have 10 bans total, 5 bans for your team to try and remove that Wisp from the pool. So I love what LGD did here. They didn't panic. They didn't immediately ban the Wisp in the first phase. They said, if you want to go Wisp, we'll deal with it as long as we can prepare for it. But now in the second stage, they won't give Vici Gaming that option, since their ability to respond and adjust is significantly more limited later in the draft.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see where Vici Gaming go. What is ZSMJ going to be playing is probably what most people are wondering. I'm sure there's actually a first-person stream of ZSMJ on the Chinese sort of streaming site. So if you want to watch just straight from ZSMJ's perspective, you can do that.
And Xiao Wei as well. So the two veterans on those teams.
I'm sure all the Chinese people care about is ZSMJ, watching him up against his former team. And I'm excited. I don't think he's going to be on the Juggernaut. I feel like that's more something they use in a sort of off-lane type role or offensive trialing. If anything, they look to get ZSMJ some kind of a safe lane carry.
For everybody who's in the stream chat currently mentioning that God's mic is skipping in Dota TV, the reason is that I'm connected via a VPN. It seems like it's not allowing both of us to be connected at the same time, so our routing without the VPN is not the best to the Dota TV server. Point being is, we'll talk to our tech expert. We have a few days off from the Dota 2 Super League and try to get that all sorted out for you guys before the Eastern qualifiers as well as before the Super League. So we are very sorry for the audio issues. At least I'm coming through clearly, but we do apologize that God's is not. If it really bothers you, I guess you have to watch on the stream, because we're not synced up with it, so with the Dota TV 2-minute delay. So I do apologize. Should be fixed in the future, though. We have been able to get Orky in the past. We'll do it again, but just today, unfortunately, we're not able to do it now. And LGD, they see Vici Gaming maybe looking to turtle this one out. And the way the Vici Gaming's lineup is built, they don't really have a hard carry, but LGD will ban Tinker as well as Gyro, 2 heroes that are great at stopping pushes and 2 heroes that are great at taking the game late. And oh boy, we've got ourselves a Dragon Knight. A big death ball is coming their way.
Oh yeah, it does put Magnus into the offlane, which does make LGD's... It sort of offers a weakness in their life, because Magnus in the offlane can be completely shut down, prevented from farming his Blink Dagger for one thing, but maybe even his Arcane Boots. So it does sort of give the options for Vici Gaming to look to shut this down. They can expect DK to be mid. Magnus maybe... I guess maybe LGD look for a 1v1 matchup, and that's something Vici Gaming may look to avoid, just so they can prevent Mag from getting a fast, easy blink.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm just trying to see if there's a way to set up another VPN connection. If not now, we can certainly do it for the future. But looks like might not be possible right this second. We'll see. Let's see what Vici Gaming go for. Like you said, I don't think it'll be a ZSMJ Juggernaut. That seems to be something more that would go into the hands of, say, XTT. And we have seen some teams experiment with the solo mid jug. I don't think we'll see it here, but that was more of a niche kind of counter to Templar Assassin.
I think if he's on the Juggernaut, then they need to get some kind of a semi-carry for CTY in the mid lane. Something like a Queen of Pain or a Templar Assassin, because they just don't really have a whole lot of damage to follow up their strong disables, their strong lockdown, their clockwork initiation, which is going to be something like a Queen of Pain maybe, but then they have to dominate the early to mid game. Keeper of the Light actually makes it this far into the draft and gets picked up last by LGD, so this is going to give them a really strong group up and team fight type draft.
They have it all. They can take it late with Empower and 2 decent late game carries. Dragon Knight actually scales better than anything that Vici Gaming has. So too does the Lone Druid. LGD, just the more well-rounded lineup at this stage of the game. I feel they have more damage. They have tankier heroes. They've got a better 5-man. They've got better counter push as well. For Vici Gaming, they need to pull something out of the hat, and they will turn to a Storm Spirit. Is this going to be a safe lane Storm? It's a ZSMJ Storm Spirit. Oh boy, get your popcorn. This one at a CTY Clockwork is going to be a doozy.
This is what's really cool about this Vici Gaming team is they pick these heroes and they use them in different ways that teams don't expect, because often you'll go into a draft, you'll give your opponent strong heroes, but you know how they're probably going to use it, so you prepare for it. But then Vici Gaming just threw all these curveballs your way. They put CTY on a potentially solo mid clock. They go for the safe lane Storm Spirit played by ZSMJ. They don't even pick up really a carry. And then they're going to have an offensive tri-lane maybe with a Juggernaut. This is just very sort of, I guess, unconventional type laning, but it works up against a team like LGD. This is how you beat a very conventional team in LGD.
Gods, I did just send you a message on Skype. Let's see if we can get you established on a separate VPN connection. It seems like it might be sorted out, so we'll do what we can to resolve God's Dota TV issues. If not, then we'll certainly have it fixed for future broadcasts. But in the meantime, it will be Vici Gaming heading with the aggressive tri-lane. It will be a Sand King in that tri-lane, a popular pick in Southeast Asia as well as the Chinese scene, even though he's barely ever picked up at all in the Western scene. It'll be Fenrir on the Shadow Demon. Early observers as well as the courier purchase for him. XTT going to be handling that Juggernaut. FY on the Sand King, and they might run into a world of trouble. A lane ward placed a little bit of an unusual spot from DD, and it looks like there's going to be 5 heroes here. LGD was expecting Vici Gaming, it looks like, to go for some sort of 5-man roam bottom, and in fact, it was only 3, so not the case.
Well, Vici Gaming, they are going to stick with that offensive trial, and it looks like. They've got Storms for position at top lane. He hasn't been pulled anything, it looks like. Actually, pulled one south, but often you'd expect something like a null talisman first item and then get pulled a lot of regen, but not going for something like that. His matchup is not going to be an easy one. It looks like he's going to be in a 1v1 against a Lone Druid.
And that's the beauty of the Lone Druid pick. So we'll see Sylar, and he really can take it anywhere. We've seen Sylar take Lone Druid solo mid, I think, more than any other player in the Chinese scene. And normally we see Zhou take his to the off lane, Burning usually, or even to the safe lane, but it's usually a side lane, and Burning often in that safe lane, getting the 1v1 or protected farm if he's got a defensive tri-lane. But Sylar, he'll go off lane this game, and he'll have, like you said, a good matchup versus ZSMJ. He will go for early Tranquil Boots. He's been pulled to south, so he's got something at his side, but it's a lane that they should do well in, and so, Gods, the question is there a lane that Vici Gaming is going to dominate? Can they dominate this tri-lane, or can they win that matchup mid convincingly?
I think the thing that they're going to have to look to do is just send some early rotations and ganks towards Sylar, whether it's a Clockwork or maybe one of the supports going for an early TP gank, because Storm Spirit is not going to have the best time at top, especially with what Lone Druid. Even though he's in a 1v1 matchup, he's still pulling from behind, forcing Storm Spirit to last hit under his tower, which isn't really too much of a problem because he's got Remnant and shouldn't be missing too many last hits, but it chews away at his regen.
Oh, CTY is playing masterfully right now. We'll actually see DDC look to clear out some trees, I believe preparing for a potential D ward, but indeed there is no ward there. It's over to the right, so the camp will remain blocked. And when you have a Keeper of the Light Leshrac tri-lane, you can farm so damn fast. Middle lane, CTY really trying to abuse those cogs, but yeah, just playing patiently. Bottom lane, they'll go in now. Disruption, as well as a Burrow Strike is there, but FY's dropping low. Can he juke into these trees? He won't get away. LGD, they strike first, and they strike hard, and for Vici Gaming, that might just spell doom for this tri-lane, giving that early kill away to LGD.
Yeah, it's not going to help, that's for sure. I think they can still stick with the tri-lane versus tri-lane at bottom. They just have to, the supports are going to have to play very, very passively, sit back, and just rely on the Juggernaut's Blade Fury to keep them alive in the front lines. It's sort of the substitute for a lifesteal offensive tri-lane, but just not quite as strong and dominant.
Yeah, we'll see where they go from here. And the thing for LGD is they can also afford some additional sentry wards after that kill if they want. And actually, well, no, it's Xiao8 who got the first blood, but we'll see them be able to be a little bit more aggressive. They'll have the level advantage as well. Looking at that tri-lane, we do see A DK who's already level 2. We'll see Keeper of the Light as well as Leshrac, I imagine, hit level 2 first over the Sand King Shadow Demon, so could end up making a big difference if they find another kill. But Vici Gaming, like you said, they could still sit in this lane and farm. I guess the main question will be, can they actually put enough pressure to stop LGD from farming? Because I'm looking at the two solo lanes, Gods, and Yao farming pretty well in the middle lane, 4-1. CTY's winning, but not overwhelmingly so, not yet. Only up 3 kills, 3 creep hits, and 2 denies, and then top lane. Sylar, actually not farming as well as you'd expect. CSMJ is dominating him in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the CS charts, the top 3 are all on the Vici Gaming side. We're only 2 minutes in. It's very, very marginal, but it's something which, for Vici Gaming, is a good sign to start things off. Sure, they give up the first blood at bottom lane, but Juggernaut is having a better time competing for farm than the DK.
Yeah, you really would have figured that a hero like Lone Druid, CSMJ is actually getting a bear kill. No, Sylar denies it. A huge play. That's 100 gold as well as quite a bit of experience. Now bottom lane, they'll go in with a disruption as well as a Blade Fury. XTT will bring down one, but he's tanking Tower Shot, Splitter, cooling down. They need 2 more hits to bring him down. Illusion Rune, or Invis Rune was picked up bottom lane. In the end, they do punish that Juggernaut. Score now 2-1, but getting that bear denied top, a nice little play from Sylar. Still, ZSMJ doing very well in this matchup, better than what you would expect.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to his item build, going for a lot of extra regen, not going for the Null Talisman. He had the fast Ring of Basilisk, and the plus armor helps a lot.
CTY's actually conked in Yao. I'm not sure this is where he wants to be. He's bottling up inside of the cogs, the battery assault, canceling the cast animation from Yao. CTY, what a player, finds a solo kill on the Magnus. And for Yao, just thought he had that one, but underestimated the power of battery assault and cogs, preventing Yao from getting that shockwave off quickly.
The key thing there is it's the build that Bulba loves to go for on his Clockwork. You get more points in battery assault. You don't max the rocket flare. Battery assault does so much more DPS in a 1v1 matchup, and that just won in this lane against Mag.
Just sensational play. I mean, Clockwork definitely can win the lane, but to get a kill like that, really, you have to admit as well, a bit of an overextension from Yao, but CTY just understanding the limits of his hero, bottling up while Yao was being stunned by the battery assault so that he couldn't cancel those bottle charges as quickly as he would like. Every little thing going his way. Good news for LGD. Sylar's really stabilized. Now 17-7. Once he gets entangled, life will be a lot harder. Now bottom lane, they go in again. And can they bring down Xiao 8? That's the question. He drops low. Splitter only connects a 1. We're not seeing those 3 hero splitters we saw last game. They'll back off now. Score is 3-2, and well, it's been back and forth, Gods. Looking at a slight gold lead for Vici Gaming and an experience lead for them, but I feel it's still absolutely anyone's game.
Yeah, it really is. I think the one real weakness which is being exploited is the safe lane DK. DK in a tri lane, it's just not the hero which you would have expected to really be there. You look at what they're up against, which is a Juggernaut tri lane, a much more conventional one, and LGD, even with that first blood, they're losing this bottom lane, and that goes to show just how weak their tri lane is.
To be fair, their lineup doesn't need to win that tri lane. As long as Yao gets decent farm, gets an early pair of Arcane Boots, and Sylar gets his quick level 6 and can start applying pressure to this tower, I feel they're in decent shape. They are getting some levels, which above everything else is really the key. This is not an anti-mage. They're not counting on this Dragon Knight to do it all, but at the same time, it's a good sign for Vici Gaming to have this start, and now they're looking to contest this pull. Yeah. Can they do it?
Well, I want to try and get those Mud Golems. Those Mud Golems, I absolutely love getting them because they give so much golden XP, but right now, not a whole lot that LGD can even do to ensure that they actually get this.
And the beauty of the Mud Golems, that's not something Leshrac or Keep It Alive can just snipe with their long-range spells, so makes it much easier for Vici Gaming to steal those if they want.
Well, as far as the mid lane goes, CTY's hit level 6 now, so we could see some rotations from him. His bottle comes back, he's got a salve as well. And if he wants to, he can start looking to get active either at bottom or top lane, and that's really a big X factor for Vici Gaming here. He hasn't picked up a TP scroll, so we can't see him TP bottom to help things out, but a quick rotation can happen very fast from Clockwork with a shot.
Xiao 8, he'll find an Illuminate after the stun is there, but XTT able to get off his Blade Fury. The stuns, if they were chained properly, would have been enough to get the kill, but DDC just couldn't get in range in time to set it up, and Yao gets cogged again. He can skewer out. He'll bring the Clockwork with him, but Battery Assault is going to drive him away. You skewer him into tower and you run. That's just how strong this Battery Assault max first really is.
Oh yeah, CTY has got level 4 Battery Assault now. Holy crap, this is going to be a lot of pain. FY's TP top, so Sand King looking to help out Stormstreet. ZSMJ's hit level 6, so if they can catch out Sylar, they should be able to get a kill here. Problem is Sylar's really tanky.
Yeah, problem is he's got his level 6. He was sitting around in range for him, and I think that's when the Sand King actually rotated in. Unfortunately, he's gone into his ultimate form after hitting level 6.
And has a Helm of Iron Will, which is a lot of bonus armor, which actually really helps, because a lot of that, about half of that damage almost, or maybe a third of that damage will be physical damage if there's a gate like
stun
Sand
on
King.
XTT, Illuminate being channeled. There's your stun, but the disruption. Clutch play from Fenrir, able to keep XTT alive, and now Yao will rotate back to the middle lane. Yeah, I was really not farming that well. Normally his Magnus, every time we cast him, Winter even makes fun of me and teases me for the amount of praise I give his Magnus, and it's normally fantastic, but CTY is really dominating this lane. Didn't just get the solo kill, he's also controlling the runes, he's out farming him, and although he's dropping low, he's not dying yet. CTY winning his lane, and that's what Vici Gaming's lineup is all about. The Clockwork and the Storm Spirit snowballing. So far, so good for those two heroes.
Yeah, both of them are fantastic. So CTY looks to be going for a fast burn of Shadows. Has he got it coming out? No, actually just a Bracer. Okay, picks up a fast Bracer, maybe a Drum of Endurance, or just going for some Braces because of how cost efficient they are, so...
Yeah, we'll see him just dropping a couple of extra items here while he salves up, and now he'll pick back up his Gauntlet. He's going to rotate down towards the bottom lane. We haven't really seen him get active in the other lanes. Neither have we seen the Storm, or nor have we seen the Storm get active, but if we do... That's where Vici Gaming, if they win one big fight, kill 3 or 4 heroes, they snowball. If they lose that fight, the game could go completely the other way. So a lot of how this game will develop depends on that next engagement, and especially on the play of these two solo heroes for Vici Gaming. It's really where their lineup is focused.
I think Vici Gaming would rather have Clockwork TPing and roaming around the map than Storm. They're happy to leave Storm just sitting at top farming. They've actually sent Sanking there, not so much to look for a gank, but he's just using pulls, getting some farm and XP for himself, and this makes the lane easier for Storm, because look at Lone Druid. He can't compete the lane at all, because he knows Sanking is nearby, but Sanking is mostly just looking to zone him out. He's not actually looking for a kill right now.
He's getting levels and farm, and the problem is the supports of LGD are not. XTT will be stunned, but Blade Fury's on out. He's actually going in. I think he'll need to retreat here. Potentially a Split Earth could spell his doom, but there is, of course, Disruption Phase Boots enough to get him away. He will escape. Now top lane, the bear being pulled in, being ganked and brought down. Can Sylar deny it again? He'll try. He gets it again. That's 2 bear denies in 1 game. Cheeky little play from Sylar.
Do you not take damage when you deny it?
I guess not. I didn't realize that. But either way, I don't think it would matter in this case. He's quite tanky.
It's a very small thing. I'm wondering if that's like, I don't know, I won't pull out the word, but it's a bug, but I'm surprised. It doesn't look like he took damage.
I imagine the stream viewers will know better than us. He definitely didn't take damage there. I'm not sure if he's supposed to, but either way, you see LGD, they're not rotating their supports. They're not really confident to deward this pull. I actually don't know if they have money for it. Yeah, they do, but I think they're just very worried about the quick rotations from CTY and ZSMJ, so they're afraid to leave this tri lane and have their DK get sniped. And the other issue is, you'd love to have a lane ward here, but unfortunately they just haven't gotten a range for it. The stun again on XTT. Xiaowei not able to find any follow-up, so much gold being invested in trying to get these pole clamps cleared out, and LGD, known for getting early levels on their supports, even dating back to the International 2. They always prioritized it with the Shadow Shaman picks that were popular by then. They're not finding those levels.
No, they're hardly finding it all right now. They're not using the stacks, they're not using much pulls. They have got level 4 on the Keeper. Leshrac, level 4 as well.
It's not bad, it's just compared to what we normally see from them, it's not very much.
Yeah. The Dire supports Sanking level 4 himself, so there's not really too much separating them. Actually, both teams with almost identical experience on their support. Sanking with probably a slight edge in terms of farm with some of those neutrals at top, but all in all, actually no, Keeper of the Light actually has some decent farm at bottom, so I think the support's relatively even. I just feel DK in this trial lane, they're not really doing a whole lot with this pick. It was all about this Death Ball army push, but with the lack of farm, LGD can't push for another 5-10 minutes.
XTT able to Blade Fury out. If there's a Dragon Tail, he'll wand up Xiaowei, doesn't have the mana, now he does. He's given it by Keeper of the Light from long range. The backup comes, the supplies are dropped as it were, but not able to find it. ZSMJ is going to rotate around. I don't know what he hopes to accomplish here. Okay, gonna place an Observer Ward. Was gonna say, he's not killing the Lone Druid by himself, but that makes quite a bit more sense. He'll spot the rotation of Yao coming in if Yao enters that lane. Won't do so just yet. He's going to head over to the shop, picks up his Arcane Boots. I think LGD is really fine with this pace, though. Looking at the gold graph, they're barely behind at all. Experience the same as well. And if they get big enough, if they get their items and levels, they can 5-man, and I don't feel there's much Vici can do about it. So I actually feel pressure is really on Vici to make something happen in the next 5 minutes.
They're looking for a Clockwork. He's found the hookshot onto DD. This is a guaranteed kill. DD trying to deward, will succeed in doing so.
Set up by the supports. Like you said, dewarding gets caught.
Almost killed him off before the D-ward actually happened.
Yeah, once the hook comes, you're dead. So, great play from CTY.
Phase boots on CTY. This is more movement speed, but also some strong damage as well with your auto attacks.
Yeah, don't underestimate Clockwork. Because of his battery assault, he can get off extra auto attacks while he's chasing you, and if he cogs you in, that's a lot of free time for your heroes to whack away on him, on their heroes. So, potentially could make a big difference. And I feel like maybe more than anything, this is just about being able to move around the map a bit quicker and create pressure without having to spend so much time walking from place to place, but a bit of an unusual build. I'd love to watch the replay and kind of see exactly how he's using these more. Top lane, they're going to go on Sylar. The Omni Slash is here, the teleports will come, but Sylar will die. A well-executed gank, can they get out? Yeah, looking for an RP. He'll find FY. He hasn't committed yet with a skewer, and he won't do so. Now he wants CSMJ, he'll skewer in for him. RP is there. Shockwave not even needed. The Illuminate brings him down. They give up 2 just to kill off Sylar. Gotta say, losing your Storm makes that not worth it. Everything for Vici Gaming is really about the Storm.
Yeah, it wasn't really worth it for them, but I think they'll see that as LGD sending 3 Druids to TP top. CTY, maybe, yeah, he's going to get revenge.
Toying with DDC, beautiful play, pulls a Kabu, pump fakes the hook a good 5 or 6 times, and then says, just when you think you've gotten away, out the hook comes, and down he goes.
Yeah, they forced LGD to rotate their entire team top lane. They had 4 heroes at top. The one hero who wasn't top gets caught out, and then meanwhile, it's Shadow Demon getting farm at bottom. But hey, Shadow Demon gets up to level 6, also gets some decent gold, so we could see some Arcane Boots, or maybe an Urn coming out from him soon. So I think for Vici Gaming, they lose Storm. It wasn't ideal for them, but they make the most out of it by getting a kill at mid and also getting some farm and XP at bottom.
ZSMJ now sitting on a Robe of the Magi, so we will see the Fast Orchid, which I think is really the ideal item if you want to snowball. If you're farming really freely, you can rush something like a Bloodstone, but his CS isn't that incredible, and a lot of that is just due to the matchup. He had a tough matchup against the Lone Druid. Once he hits level 5, it's very difficult. For an LGD, they're going to look for a little 5-man group up, or not 5-man yet, but they have 4 here. They may bring in the Lone Druid soon, or just look for a 4+1 split push kind of style. We'll see, but they don't have RP, so they really need to be careful about engaging.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to look to be grouping up soon. Probably around the time Mag finishes off farming his Blink Dagger in the next couple of minutes, but they can't just sit back and let Vici Gaming have all the space in the world to get Storm Spirit, more farm, more items. Even the supports on the Dire side, Sankin with a Blink Dagger, Clockwork has got his Urn of Shadows now, so he's looking really tanky. That's the other scary thing. This is a Clockwork with 1350 HP. He's going to be hard to bring down.
Yeah, and he's the primary initiator. You don't want Storm going in first. You want Clockwork to do it, create the space, set up the fight, and then let the Storm Spirit basically clean the plate off and devour all that delicious food. That's what I'll hope for. And speaking of LGD, they've got some very squishy backline supports, and they don't have a hero like Shadow Demon or Disruptor who can send the Storm away or disengage freely. If these supports get caught, they will fall, and CTY, he finds the hook, finds one. Now they want Shao as well. CSMJ zips on in, baits out an RP. Yao, a rare miss from him, but he did miss the RP. Burrow Strike on 2. Epicenter not being used, just goes inside a Sandstorm. Now an Omni Slash, 1 by 1. 4 hit the deck. What a fantastic team fight from Vici Gaming. Every little play. The master ZSMJ zips in, zips out.
ZSMJ has orchestrated that entire thing. He dodged the RP with the zip out, he baited it out, and RP hit absolutely no one. They're going to catch Sylar as well. Maybe he has been soul catching up. Is there enough damage to bring down? XCT Blade Fury does get the kill, and Yao, he's got nothing here. All he can do is skewer the hell out of there. DD going to drop an Illuminate, not going to even catch CTY, so fantastic fight for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, and problem is they got that kill, but Yao bought back, and all you get is the Sand King for that. So really great trade for Vici Gaming, and that means Oblivion Staff #1 probably coming right now. Well, no, not yet, but actually he's not as farmed as what you would like. It's CTY who currently leads the farm charts, but the thing is, Vici Gaming doesn't need that many items right now to find those kills, and they're going to go on the tower. LGD say, sure, we lost that fight, but we've still got the better 5-man. We're confident we can take the fight. You don't have Omni Slash, you don't have all your abilities. The hook just cooling down now. They will get the tower. So
yeah, and Clockwork's looking for another pickoff. He's got his hook, he's going in. He catches the Keeper of the Light again.
Oh, CTY.
The words of LD, what a player.
Just a devilish little fellow, this one. And he may be young, but he is playing like a savvy veteran. Going in on 4, finding a kill, and getting out freely. Just really understanding the limits and the potential of his hero and utilizing it to its full potential. And for LGD, CSMJ is going to continue pushing this top lane. I feel that LGD are still in an alright shape. They just really need to get up the core items. You need your mechanism on, say, the Keeper of the Light, which isn't coming anytime real soon. You need the Blink Dagger on the Magnus, and you need to work towards that next item on Sylar, something like the Maelstrom, maybe the Assault Cuirass. If they can get those items, I think they're in much better shape. But finding them is going to be significantly more difficult.
They really want to prevent Stormstreet from getting this tower, because this is going to boost up his farm towards that Orchid by so much here. So this tower, top lane.
Oh, ZSMJ, what a play.
He knows how to last hit creeps and towers better than anyone out there.
And it's a smoke from FY. It will be revealed. Here comes ZSMJ from long range. Zips in, grabs Sylar, now the epicenter to fly. And Sylar will drop yet again. It looks like too much damage. Unfortunately, ZSMJ jumps into a split earth. He will take a fall. As a result, just an unfortunate time for him to go in there. And FY, he's going to be in trouble to a split earth momentarily. He will get stunned. He will get brought down. Now Yao jumps in, catches 2 with the RP. Yao doing what he does best, which is catching you out and picking you off. And the big key there was no CTY.
Yeah. He's going. Nope.
Misses the hook.
Wasn't even close. I think he was thinking they were going to keep on pushing there, but he had no vision at all.
You know, really the difference between these two lineups, I feel LGD can afford to lose a few fights. I don't really feel Vici Gaming can lose too many.
Yeah. That's a really costly fight for Vici Gaming. The gank on Lone Druid was nice. ZSMJ just need to retreat a little bit earlier. And right now, Vici Gaming, a great RP from Magnus, sets them pretty far back now. I mean, they're still ahead on gold, but the XP takes a big jump back towards even.
They may be ahead on gold, but we're not seeing a game-changing item just yet. They really want something like an Orchid to prevent that Magnus RP, to allow Storm Spirit to find those quick snipe offs. It's CTY who's currently leading the farm charts, but what does he have to show for it? He'll pick up... If he can get this Aghanims, then everything changes, because then you can use your Clockwork Hook constantly to find kill after kill with that 12-second cooldown. But until he has it, he's just the tankier Clockwork, which is annoying. It's not like Storm getting items, where Storm can find multiple kills easily in a fight.
I'll have a negative scepter at some point. Sorcerer with his first Oblivion Staff up is looking for that Orchid. That death's going to send him back a bit. And LGD just looking to sit back. They're rotating towards bottom lanes with 3-4 heroes here. CTY is going to have to get out in a second here. Shouldn't be in too much trouble, though. He's got vision, actually, behind this bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually look to go in. For the time being, XTT, he's been rotated top. He's continuing to farm. So VG, they've got the lineup that has much greater reach. They can find you and pick you off from very far away. And LGD, because of that, forced to play very defensively. Almost reminds me of back in last season of G1 League, Season 4, when at the LAN Finals, LGD China was up against IG's Face Rush, and they just had to play this bend but don't break Dota, don't get caught out, stick together as much as possible, and hope for Vici Gaming to overextend. It seems like the same type of game plan right now.
Yeah, Vici Gaming. The problem is it's not going to be this 5-man in-your-face diving, which is sort of where IG went wrong there, because there would be 3 or 4 melee heroes just running into an Enigma Black Hole or running into a Mag RP. This time, it's just Clockwork flying in, maybe Storm Spirit. But the RPs, Yao's trying to use them just for the solo kills. That was like that fight which went horribly wrong for LGD. He was hoping just to RP Storm Spirit, because if he hits that RP, the fight goes so differently, even though it only hits one hero.
Wow, Mass Phase Boots. FY is going to pick up a pair of his own. No Arcane Boots required for him. And they don't have a Keeper of the Light. They don't actually have a single... They have triple Phase Boots. Well, Juggernaut, it makes sense. On a hero like Clockwork, not that unusual, but a little bit curious to see that on our Sand King. It really just tells you they want to chase. They want to have a pick-off and then roll. So they get one, and then they keep on chasing, and nobody gets away. If the fight starts to go well for Vici Gaming, LGD likely to lose 5. That's the game plan, and I think to some extent it does suit their lineup.
Yeah, I really think it does, and I think for LGD, the problem is right now, they're playing defensively and passively, but they're being spotted out doing that. This ward at bottom lane, the 2 wards, is spotting out what LGD are doing. So Vici Gaming, they're out-farming LGD in the other lanes. They're making the most of this by just, well, avoiding any sort of overextension at bottom lane, which is what LGD are trying to hope for.
At the same time, LGD, the Yao Blink Dagger should be coming. In fact, it's up right now, and he's got a smoke. Can he deploy that Blink at the right moment? There is a lane ward, but it's not going to spot out this rotation. RP comes in, catches 2, Shockwave as well. Pile drives him back in. They're both going to drop. FY, I think it will go down here. He's still running, though. He's got a Burst Strike. The Phase Boots keeping him alive, so they're only losing 1. The Blink Dagger revealed. The RP dropped as well. You got to be happy to get a kill there. At least in return, no, a Blink, a Shockwave from Yao. He finds the additional kill. Not running away, even with those Phase Boots. And they get a tier 1. And ZSMJ says, we got to trade. Let's push mid.
Yeah. Drops one Revenant is going to be looking to chip away at this. I think he's maybe trying to even bait out a rotation. TP coming in. CTY's in.
CTY go in. Shows himself at the right moment. Now Sylar gets pushed back in by the Cogs, dropping pretty low, but not dead yet. They're worried about additional support coming. It is coming in the form of a multiple hero, so they back off. In the end, LGD don't lose anyone mid.
They were hoping for anyone other than Lone Druid to TP in there, and they can maybe get a kill, but Lone Druid just way too tanky.
Yeah, that's the one that you can't kill.
Well, I still think Vici Gaming are going to be pretty happy with the current position. They've got Juggernaut with the item progression you need him to have right now. I guess the one hero they may be hoping for a bit more from is maybe going to be the Storm Spirit, who still doesn't have an Orchid. Yeah,
that's really the concern for me, is they need the Orchid because it's how they can jump in, find a kill, and get out safely. If you have that Orchid, suddenly Leshrac can't even look for a Split Earth, Magnus can't RP and counter-engage Blink or no Blink, and you can find pickoffs. You can be more aggressive, but without it, and without the Aghanim Scepter, which is coming very soon, but isn't up yet, they haven't been able to find those kills. Vici Gaming, not really in firm command of this game. LGD do have the stronger 5-man. I would say if it goes late enough, they should have the better late game lineup as well, between Lone Druid as well as a DK and all the physical damage they can output. But they're not there yet. There's still a window for Vici Gaming, but that window is starting to close slowly.
Yeah, for Vici Gaming, their late game DPS is just Juggernaut, who they're now giving the priority as far as farm goes. Then, I mean, sure, Stormthreat, they'd love an Orchid. They're going to try and get him that Orchid, but for the most of it, they realize this game is going late game, and late game, they need a farmed up Juggernaut.
Yeah, and there's the one issue is when it comes to physical damage, that's what LGD are best at dealing with. You have a lone druid with when he's got Battlecry active, has an additional 4 armor now. Soon it will be 6. He's very tanky. DK is a BKB, and of course with Dragon's Blood is very resistant to that. So it gets to a point in this game where you just will not kill these carries. Outside of Juggernaut being 4 or 5 slotted, being 2 or 3 items ahead of them, it's not going to happen. So clock is ticking.
Well, as far as the clock goes, Clockwork himself has just picked up a 21-minute Aghanim Scepter.
Insane. Really great farm from CTY. And he's 6-0-4. This guy's played very well.
I'm very impressed by CTY. He's been putting his team on his back right now. The rest of Vici Gaming have played well, but you sort of look at Stormstreet. ZSMJ had that one amazing play in mid lane, but he's quite under farm right now.
Yeah, and there's been one, I don't know if I would call it a mistake necessarily, but there was that one fight top where CTY wasn't there, so maybe you look at that and say, depending on what the team's communication was, that was sort of his one mistake this game. But aside from that, he's been everywhere he's needed to be. He's created a lot of space. He won his lane. The question, though, is it going to be enough? And right now, it's really hard to say. It's going to come down to these next few fights. XTT, he's got the Yasha up. Like you said, he'll go for some more late-game damage. Maybe even something like a Sanjin Yasha. It's a pretty good mid-game snowball item on a Juggernaut. They'll look to go in mid now. Can they find that opening? As you mentioned, the shiny new Ags is ready, but they don't feel safe to engage, knowing that Yao's probably lurking behind them. And if they can't go in to find kills, they're not really out farming LGD. As looking at the gold graph, look at the experience graph, they're not pulling ahead, so it's not Starvation Dota, and it's not Snowball Dota. It's not the kind of game Vici Gaming want right now.
They're very scared of LGD because the BKB picked up by DK, the Blink RP, but the problem is, LGD just gets more and more scary late game with the Empower on both the Spirit Bear as well as the DK, and these heroes getting more and more items. You look at Assault Crest on the Bear, you look at DK picking up some more items himself. I think Vici Gaming, as much as they don't want to fight into the Mag Blink RP, they're going to have to find a way to do that.
They might have a solution for it now, because there's an Orchid up on ZSMJ, so let's see if that can be the big difference maker. The tower taking a lot of damage mid. LGD, they're looking to trade a tier 2 mid for a tier 1 bottom. They'll happily take this trade, and it looks like they'll get it as well. Tower will drop, and they're going to keep on pushing. They're going to force Vici Gaming to back off.
Yeah, and Vici Gaming are not... even the Vici Gaming will TP back, but they're not even here yet. They need to start spamming. They need to start throwing rockets through anything Shadow Poisons, and they are going to start TPing now. LGD immediately back off.
Look at the tower. Took almost 500 damage just from a few whacks from that lone druid.
There's a smoke on the mag as well, so maybe we see LGD look to try find an opening with this, although they are currently sitting underneath an Observer Ward.
Yeah, under cover of a Dire Ward. Let's see if this is where they smoke. They've got a Sentry at DDC. Well, they're just going to back off. I don't really feel there's any pressure on them to go for a smoke. They could. It could change the game, but if they want to sit back and farm, they're happy to. Speaking of smokes, Vici Gaming will go for one, charging right down the middle lane.
LGD know they just got spotted by that Observer Ward because the Observer Ward expired in front of them and it kind of blips on the map. So LGD know that they've been spotted by Vici Gaming, so they should be very careful with their positioning right now. And they even get rocketed. Let's
see, Vici Gaming, are they going to try and sneak a Roche with the Healing Ward? They could bring him down. They don't have that much damage, so it'll be a bit slower. It looks like they're thinking of going for it now. Maybe just setting up some wards. We'll see.
Get some wards up. One of these teams needs to probably be looking... Well, both teams are probably considering a gem sometime soon. Shadow Demon just with sentries.
There we go. Xiao Wait's leading the charge. He will get purged by Fenrir. That is not the hero you want to go on, and they will back off. See, ZSMJ, he'll zip in. He finds Yao. He will Orchid it, but can they bring him down in time? The hook was there, but got pushed back by the blinding light. Mid-hook, FY goes for an epicenter. He gets it off. The RP only catches FY. Not a good RP. The problem is, do they have enough follow-up? That Storm Spirit pretty much out of mana. XTT dropping low as well, but CTY will have more hooks, and it looks like ZSMJ found an additional kill. Sylar trying to find a target to lock onto. Hook hits 2. Cox push another one back. CTY on a monster kill, finds a double kill as well. ZSMJ, will he be able to find some additional kills? It looks like he won't. In the end, a 3 for 2. LGD blew the RP as well, so you got to look at that and say a 1 fight for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, nice little initiation there from ZSMJ, and then Sanking backed him up. Sanking threw his life to make sure they killed off the Mag. Mag RP was trying to stop the epicenter coming off, but he RP'd just as it was casting, so it kind of sealed his own fate, bringing in the Sanking even closer to epicenter him down. And well, now Vici Gaming, they get themselves more space. They need to start taking down some towers here, especially this tier 1 mid, which LGD can just keep on backing themselves up with every time there's a fight around the mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. It's such an important strategic position on the map right now, and LGD are really exploiting it. We've seen them use that tower effectively to kind of sit back, turtle, and farm. Let's see if they continue to do it. They have the mechanism up on DD. They are finding that next level of items. Sylar, he'll be the big damage dealer at this point. Later on, the DK can assume that mantle. Xiao 8 could look to provide that secondary damage. It looks like he's going for a Shadow Blade, and that gives them a crucial initiating stun. You don't really want to rely on Blink RP when there's an Orchid there to instantly silence you when Disruption could be there to cancel. This is a more reliable initiation outside of the lanes, and it also puts additional pressure on Vici Gaming supports, who aren't particularly great at farming and who need to get other items like a Blink Dagger and FY. It's going to force them to buy some sentries, so a bit of an unorthodox late game, or semi-late game pickup here on the Shadow Blade, but I think it's a decent choice for Xiao 8.
Yeah, I agree. I like that we're going to be seeing the Shadow Blade. It's just such a strong initiation. It'll force Vici Gaming to get the gem up, and just being able to catch people by surprise with pop the ultimate going with the Shadow Blade and get that initiation stun is such a powerful tool to have. Not to mention the item on its own, decent damage. So I like the item pickup. Vici Gaming, I'm going to finally get this T1 mid tower. Actually, TP and gets cancelled, so that's a pretty big pickup for Vici Gaming, even if they do have to lose a tier 2 bottom tower for this.
Wow, XTT is really going for that hard carry build. He'll pick up an Eagle Soul now, not going to opt for the Sanji Yasha, going for a Butterfly, which, let's be honest, is going to be a fantastic pickup this game, because there's no MKB on Xiao 8, and he's not going for one anytime soon. There's no MKB on Sylar, so having that evasion could make a world of difference. Not to mention the synergy between Butterfly and Omni Slash. You get additional physical auto attacks in between Omni Slash procs if you have a high enough attack speed. And Butterfly, the single best item, gives you 60 attack speed when you have it completed. That might allow them to take this quite a bit later. ZSMJ, he'll have to back off bottom, but should be okay.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine. And LGD, it looks like they want to bring everyone in here. They recall Sylar to the, well, not really to the fight, but just to the group up at bottom. The other 4 heroes are smoked and not really finding too many openings here. LGD do have some great vision all around the map, both near the Roshan pit as well as over in the Dire jungle, which will help them out quite a bit. But for now, they're unable to find anything.
Fenrir, he's got some additional wards up. There's still no gem for either team. I'm a little surprised to see that, to be honest. We're now 28 minutes in, and especially for Vici Gaming, who have no outer towers aside from one, you really have very limited map control, and they're a lineup that thrives on and really requires map control. They should be, ideally for Vici Gaming, they're the ones who have all their towers up and who have aggressive lane wards to prevent LGD from farming, and LGD's just done a superior job of keeping the map vision up and preventing Vici Gaming from having any of their own.
Yeah, LGD's done fantastic here. Vici Gaming, I guess for them, they can get vision in other ways. They've got Shadow Poison to scout and more importantly, Rocket Flare.
Right.
They have a long-range initiation where they don't have to always have vision of their opponent's every move.
It's not as reliable, but you're right, it can be what they need, and here comes Xiao 8.
I think the big thing for Vici Gaming is they want to deny the vision more than get vision for themselves.
Fresh, shiny Shadow Blade is there, but there's a Sentry Ward. They were prepared. I assume Xiao 8 may have shown it earlier, or maybe just a bit of luck dewarding the lane. I didn't actually catch if he was in a lane with that Shadow Blade visible, but either way,
well, he had the Claymore, so they would have known roughly that he'd be... Before LGD looked to fight, if they're going to initiate, he's going for the Shadow Blade.
That's a very good point. CTY, he's got his hook. Is he going to look to go here? I guess the question is, I think you really want to catch Yao. That's kind of the ideal target. Prevent a good RP. Can he find that opening? Can he find the right moment to engage? We'll see.
Alternatively, he goes on one of the supports, like the Keeper of the Light, and then it's the Storm Spirit.
It's CTY who gets caught. He can hook to a teammate, potentially. He's dropping very low. He's chain stun epicenter. Fresh, shiny Blink Dagger comes in, and ZSMJ on the black lines doing some good work. ZSMJ will get stunned. The BKB pop from Xiao 8. That big bad dragon trying to find some kills. Will he find any? The BKB slowly ticking down. FY into the trees. No way out. He'll go down as well. It's going to be 2 dead for Vici Gaming when it's all said and done. And the Blink Dagger revealed. Difference with that fight, CTY didn't get the jump. He got jumped.
CTY got caught out. It could have gone so much worse for Vici Gaming, but ZSMJ, with the help of the Sand King, saved the fight by killing off the mag. ZSMJ zipped in, silenced the mag, tried to burst him down, and the Sand King epicenter finished him off. So they do sort of cut their losses, but their losses are going to increase now. Fenrir caught out by a Shadow Blade stun, and it looks like Fenrir are going to be brought down.
Yeah, easily chipped off. And that's the issue, is sure you can have a lane ward. You can't have sentry wards everywhere. That's where you really want the gem, but of course, if he had a gem there, he would have died. It's more just in general. They really need one to reliably deal with that DK, and as well as have the vision, because that's really the big difference of that fight as well. They didn't have fantastic vision of LGD. They had some. They didn't really feel like they had enough to be comfortable going in. Instead, they actually got caught, and I feel the vision, the big reason why CTY was unfortunately a bit out of position there and picked off.
Yeah, the CTY got spotted and brought down nice and fast here. He is looking to go for probably a Shiver's Guard here with this plate mail. The Ghost Scepter, the more important pickup here for him, though. Having that Ghost Scepter against DK as well as Lone Druid is going to be so key for him. But if you get caught up by 5, it's not going to save you because there is the magic damage, the stuns to go through.
Well, for Vici Gaming Gods, So they have a lineup that's really built around snowballing. A lineup where your Storm Spirit gets fat. He does have a BKB up now, so ZSMJ, by all accounts, is getting quite a bit of farm. The Juggernaut getting a lot of farm as well. We're going to see a Butterfly coming out soon for XTT. I feel because they have accrued a bit of an item advantage on their 3 cores, they can take this late. I still feel eventually, if it's even farm, they will just lose, assuming LGD plays correctly, but we're not at that point yet. There's still a window for Vici Gaming. They've kind of extended and kept that window open a bit longer, simply by out-farming LGD and, most importantly, getting the really crucial farm on those 3 heroes.
Yeah, even the 3 core heroes for LGD have a lot of farm. Vici Gaming have the great mobility, which we're seeing. Even when, like, CTY gets caught out, the thing for Vici Gaming is every fight, they can almost always pick off the Mag. Mag has to go for a BKB to save him from the Storm Zip in, the Sand King Blink stuns, CTY jumping in with a hook shot. So until there's a BKB on this Mag, it's really hard for LGD to take team fights reliably, because it's almost a coin flip. If Vici Gaming get a good initiation, LGD will lose it.
Sylar's going to teleport back home for a moment. I imagine it'll be recalled. Does he have his Assault Cuirass yet? That would be a really big pickup. He's sitting on a Hyperstone as well as a Plate Mail. Doesn't have the Chainmail yet, so has the money for the recipe. If he can find that before the next fight, all of a sudden, your Juggernaut is not hitting as hard, even with the Butterfly. That's a big pickup for them. It also means the DK hits a lot harder, and you can muscle down the towers quite a bit more quickly. For Vici Gaming, if they do lose a big fight, and it's anywhere on their side of the map, they're giving up Roche, and they're probably giving up Rax as well, with the amount of physical damage that can be put out by LGD. So, whereas I feel like if Vici Gaming win a fight, they may take a tier 2, maybe they even damage or bring down a tier 3, but taking the Rax itself, they don't have Demolish on their side, they don't have an AC on their side, so definitely winning fights is going to be big for them, but it's just one fight could win the game flat out for LGD.
Yeah, and for Vici Gaming, they're going to try and make sure they win that fight. They're not even relying on buybacks. With items like Butterfly picked up by Juggernaut, he's like, okay, don't need buyback. No problem. None of these Dire heroes have buyback. It's the opposite scenario. The Radiant heroes are the ones with quite a bit of gold banked up, and they could actually buy back if a fight goes wrong. So LGD in no real risk here. But for Vici Gaming, they want to sit back, try find a good fight, maybe even try and sneak a Roshan in, but that's going to be so difficult to do with LGD's strong team fight. Oh man,
talk about snowballing. ZSMJ, he's got a double damager, and this can really turn the tides of a fight on Storm. Sure, he doesn't have the greatest physical damage output, but the thing is he can get constant auto attacks off because of his ultimate, because of that ball lightning. So as a result, this DD can mean so much for a hero like Storm.
Well, not going to be looking to engage just yet with it. He is sort of hovering around the Roshan pit. Spirit Bear is going to try to scout things out. It has got a completed Assault Cuirass, so maybe we even see Vici Gaming look to chip away and bring down the Spirit Bear when it's out of position before a fight begins.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they go for it. I feel like they can really just sort of force the hand of Vici Gaming to some extent. Just by pushing as a unit, Vici Gaming, they could try and split push. I don't know if it'll be fast enough, and maybe they threaten a tier 2, but LGD could threaten Rax, but for the moment, they smell a smoke, they sense one coming, and indeed they're right. They're going to back off all the way to the tier 2, so this smoke gank not going to accomplish anything. And the Bear still parked at Roshan, still scouting things out. LGD doing all the little things right, ensuring that a Roche won't be stolen and that they won't get picked off. So right now, Vici Gaming could be farming, but they aren't. And as a result, LGD, they've actually pulled ahead in gold. Some of this, I believe, it's due to their tower advantage. They're actually up by 2 towers, but even then, still a very, very even game. It still feels like it hangs in the balance. For anyone just tuning in, I just realized the score is not actually shown. Unfortunately, it looks like our Chinese admins forgot to update that, but it is currently a 1-0 lead for Vici Gaming. Or if you want to call them Team ZSMJ, like the Chinese netizens probably are. Team ZSMJ, currently leading 1-0. Team Sylar or Team Xiaowei, depending on who you favor, currently down 0-1 in this best of 3.
Yep, we are going to see Vici Gaming back off, poke around in the Roshan pit, but LGD know exactly where they are. When they were smoked up, there was pings going onto them exactly where they were smoked, and LGD were even like farming their own jungle further away. So LGD, they should know what's going on with this Roshan. It looks like they're going to be marching there as fast as possible.
CTY doing a little bit of a stall here. He'll drop some cogs inside of it. It's dropping really fast. I don't know if they'll get here in time, to be honest. Xiaowei comes in. He's been spotted out by Sentry Ward. Roche about to drop. They've got to get it now. They will pick it up. CSMJ gets it. The perfect hero to grab it. Goes right on Sylar. The RP from Yao doesn't do anything because XTT was Blade Fury. CTY is too damn tanky. It looks like CSMJ is doing too much damage. DD on the run. CSMJ did pop his beacon. Maybe that's a 2 or maybe even 3 hero burst straight coming on through. Isn't going to be enough. XTT delivers the pain. The Omni Slash is there. Xiaowei on the run as well. They're just so tanky on LGD, even with an Aegis, even with all this damage coming out. They finally bring down a few. The buyback forced out from Yao. 3 heroes dead. Aegis was popped, and the BKB charge is deployed. Make no mistake about it, a fantastic fight for Vici Gaming. But it just shows you how hard LGD is to kill. That was a perfect fight. That was great initiation, and it took forever and a day.
The Mag RP wasn't great. The Sand King, to me, has been the unsung hero in a lot of these fights. And he hit the 2-hero Burrow Strike at the end, but even the Epicenter he got off did so much damage to the LGD supports. The kills they did get came largely from the Sand King, so he did fantastic there. The Mag RP hitting just the Juggernaut was a big issue for LGD. Although they do lock down the highest DPS hero on the Vici Gaming side, they needed to catch more with it.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Blade Fury as well, is sure, you can get stunned and held in position, but doesn't mean you're going to die, and now XTT up to 3.2k gold. All of a sudden, if Juggernaut gets big enough, this is where you need Ghost Scepters on LGD. They really need them, because if any of these supports get caught out, Omni Slash can easily bring you down. From full HP to none, you can instantly kill 2 or 3 heroes with your Omni Slash if the Bear isn't there to tank it, if the DK with this high armor isn't there to absorb some of the initial blows and shock of that Omni Slash. So we'll see, but positioning becomes more and more critical for LGD, and also harder to get just right. When there's an Aghanim's Clockwork on the map, a Blink Dagger Sand King, as well as a Juggernaut who has Phase and Drums, these heroes can get, and Yasha, these heroes can get on you in a hurry. And once they get on you, if you're not having the organized, disciplined fight that you want, things just fall apart.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having those organized fights is going to be a key thing moving from here on out. As for LGD, well, we're seeing them look to group up once again a bit. They've got one at bottom lane. Actually, Keeper Light TP's the hell out of there. He's got mech as well as 4-staff up. So the support items are there for LGD, something which they're so well known for, but same case for the Vici Gaming side, to a slightly lesser extent. Shadow Demon, with very little in the way of farm, but does have a gem up, which is the key thing here. Vici Gaming, while they have great map control just with Clockwork Rockets, they want to make sure they deny LGD from having any wards up on the map.
It's something I would have liked to see them get maybe 5-10 minutes ago, but having it now is huge. Against Shao 8, this means no more Shadowblade initiations, and you don't have to spend any more money on Sentry wards. You can just continue to buy Observer wards, and more importantly, build towards some big items of your own. Go for something like a Force Staff to get away when you're being entangled, to dodge an RP. Can be a game-changing set of items, so we'll see what he goes for next, but I love the gem pickup. I think it's going to make a big difference for VG.
Yeah, I think it definitely will help them quite a lot. LGD, they're smoked up once again. When I say once again, I feel like there's been a few big 5-man smokes over the last 5-10 minutes here. This is where teams are really trying to find a big fight to turn the game in their way, because right now, very little separating the two teams, even with Vici Gaming winning that last team fight.
You know, one thing that LGD didn't have in that last fight, which I meant to mention, never got around to it, Shao 8 was not level 16, and that Frost Dragon ultimate is a big tide turner. It's not just the fact that you get 100% AoE splash, it's the slow. You can kite Juggernaut, you can potentially just do a ton of AoE damage and bring down multiple supports quickly. So having that, maybe it makes a difference.
I think it well could, as Vici Gaming themselves have sort of looking to sit back here. And the next item we're going to see coming out from them, ZSMJ's side of the Vice, is going to be very, very crucial here. It means they can jump on the Mag who may have a BKB, and still focus him down, fly in and hex him before he pops a BKB. He can be brought down, and that's sort of like the replacement late game Orchid.
You know, we just haven't seen those sensational RPs from Yao that we're accustomed to seeing, and the reason is, it's not, I don't feel it's really any fault of his own. It's just the lineup of VG and the way they're executing it. Like you talked about repeatedly throughout this cast, Gods, they're just so mobile. How do you find a good RP? It's not impossible, but it's damn close.
It really is. The mobile hero for Vici Gaming is mobile lineup, sorry, is just so useful. From the very start, going for all these phase boots here. And Sand King, while he does have some slight mana problems because of the phase boots build, he's just conserving his mana. He always makes sure he has full mana before a fight happens, so we can get an Epicenter Blink, and then generally 2 Burrow Strikes, maybe even a 30 via Cruise and Magic Wand Charge.
Both teams moving as a 5-man pack right now. Vici Gaming an aggressive foray into the LGD jungle. For LGD, more of a halting push towards the top lane. There does seem to be an element of timidity to LGD's play this game, and I wonder if it's going to end up biting them, because normally they're a team that's defensive, but not passive. They feel a little passive to me right now. Let's see if Vici Gaming finds that initiation. CTY is charging in. Look for the hook. Is he going to go? He probably wants the Magnus, maybe a support hero. He'll go in now. He finds 2 inside of the cogs. DDC gets pushed out, but CSMJ silences and pulls in Yao. Can he get off the RP? Omni Slash is here. Delivers some vengeance. 2 heroes caught in that. Now a Burrow Strike at Epicenter. This fight not going well for LGD. They are crumbling. 4 heroes dead. Call it 5 in a matter of seconds. Don't see Shao 8 getting out of here. There should be a Burrow Strike. 1 second. No, there's a hook. It's a team wipe. Triple kill for that Juggernaut. Lack of Ghost Scepters means Omni Slash instantly kills off 2. DDC had his, but it wore off by the time that Omni Slash happened. Gods, they got the initiation, and there was no chance for LGD.
Yeah. I think what CTY is doing is fantastic. Going for the support here is fine. Mag is positioning himself pretty well. The problem is, no matter how well you position yourself, Storm Spirit will always find you, and ZSMJ has been finding him every single fight. And until he has a BKB on Mag, LGD are losing every single fight, and that's just something which LGD can't afford to keep on doing here. I think they're trying to force the issue too much because of how far Mag is. If he was 500 gold away from his BKB, they wait, but because he still needs another 2k gold or something, they're trying to just fight now, but it's costing them every time.
Yeah, there's really not... I'm not sure what they could do, and I love this item pickup from XTT. He's gone for a BKB, and the reason I love it is because Blade Fury prevents you from auto-attacking heroes in the fights. But if you have a BKB... Oh, we're going to see another hook in now. CTY catches out one, but DD actually gets... I have no idea. Oh, four-staffed as well. That's how. Now the blink, as well as the stun, brings him down anyway, so they find that additional kill. FY Ghost Sceptering and trying to run away. And it looks like Vici Gaming, in the end, they get the pick off and they get out. They're not overextending. That was the trouble with this team back during G League. They've grown since then, and it's showing. Yeah,
they've grown. They sort of rotate towards mid lane, but then they quickly realize, oh wait, heroes have respawned. This is risky. As a Shadowblade Jowett was there waiting for someone to pick off, so Vici Gaming, like you say, they backed off after getting this lead. They're not going to be throwing anyway huge. I think it was even against LGD when they had that massive lead with Antimates and ended up losing.
Oh, yeah, some J. Sorry to interrupt you, but
that's cool.
Snipes the tower. What a player.
Was that the game where Vici Gaming had like Anti-Mage who sold his Battle Fury for the side of Vice and then rebought Battle Fury? Was that against LGD as well?
Yeah, I think that was against... I think it was against LGD. What I'm thinking of is the game versus IG, where they were up quite a bit in the laning states, and then they won really bad fight near the tier 2 bottom. I think it was IG anyway, and IG just had the far superior execution of the team fight. Game fell apart. The other game, where Vici Gaming kind of showed that indecisive play in the mid game and the late game and kind of overextending, was the game against LGD, where they were trying to push high ground. They had a really farmed lifestealer, and they weren't able to execute the siege properly. They got picked off, and things kind of fell apart. So a couple of games in the G League group stages where that happened, but we'll see a hook in now. Not going to connect.
He's just firing. If you hit, you hit. If you don't, well, he's got tons of mana to back this up now with this Shiver's Guard completed. So CTY...
It's a punch hook. It's really a punch hook at this point. Just keep on throwing them out. Sooner or later, one's going to connect.
Yep. I'm all for it, as ZSMJ still farming at bottom. He's almost completed his side of Vice now, so just about 700-800 gold away from that, and that's going to be... Basically, I've been talking about how important the BKB is on Mag. Well, this side of Vice can, in theory, negate that.
LGD is really boxed in. How do they get out of this box? I'm not really sure. They lack the mobility. As good as their lineup was in theory on paper at 5 mana in the mid game with an early blink on the Magnus, with an early armlet and maybe a Maelstrom on the Lone Druid, and then potentially some levels and something like a mech on your Keeper of the Light. They have those items now, but their lineup isn't really as strong. They're more a lineup that, in theory, has the better physical damage, but only if they're able to find an orderly, organized fight, and Vici Gaming just won't give it to them. And on top of that, guys, they're getting outfarmed significantly. For Vici Gaming, you sit back, you wait for the Roshan, you get that Scythe device, you get an Aegis onto ZSMJ, and then you go, and I don't know what LGD will be able to do about that, because with an Aegis, I feel they probably have to RP ZSMJ to bring them down once, and then how do you bring them down again?
Yeah, it's going to be so. I think LGD almost have to try and fight and contest Roshan. They want to try and push out the lanes while they can, which they're doing with Sylar at top lane at the moment. He's almost got enough gold for an MKB. Whether or not he actually buys it or if he just saves for buyback, I don't think you can really save for buyback. It's not, hero like Lone Druid with buyback is useful if your opponents are pushing to your base, but if there's a fight around Roshan, you're not very mobile. You can't get back to the action very fast. So having buyback on Lone Druid isn't always going to offer a whole lot compared to having buyback on something like a Clockwork, where you can buy back, TP just somewhere near the fight, then hookshot in again.
Yeah, or a Storm Spear for that matter. And speaking of buyback on CTY, he could go for Boots of Travel soon if he wanted to, and I would love to see that. Obviously saving for buyback first, but if the game goes late enough, a buyback Boots of Travel Clockwork comes back in, delivers a second set of cogs and a hook at the right moment. Fight can easily be won solely on that basis.
Yeah, well, Vici Gaming is still looking to slow roll things here with this, I'd say, slight lead of theirs. And they still haven't taken Raxus here, so we talk about how LGD are in trouble. As long as they've still got Raxus standing, they've got the really strong, scary team fight when you've got a Mag on your side. So anything can still happen. It's just going to come down to getting an RP, and this is one of those rare games where Mag Yao is having a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's hard to find an RP, but if Vici Gaming make positional errors, then maybe he will, or maybe his team will just set up a great fight for him. It's not out of the question. It really shouldn't happen with the amount of mobility and vision that Vici Gaming can bring to bear between the Gem, the Observer Wards, the Rocket to constantly scout, and the mobility of something like a Blink Dagger on a Sand King, triple phase boots on your squad, and a Storm Spirit. You wouldn't think that Vici Gaming could get caught, but mistakes do happen, and we actually saw in that fight top, there was a silence on the Magnus. XTT was right next to that Magnus, just got his Omni Slash off. I thought there was a moment there where we might see Juggernaut as well as Storm both get RP, but the silence just long enough to prevent that from happening, so it definitely can happen.
Well, Zhao's going to look to go in here. He's going to get spotted out by a Sensual, but he pops the ultimate stun onto Fenrir. Here comes the Zipper from Storm. Can he find the mag? It looks like he's not going to do so. Yao, he needs to get an RP. He's silent, so once again, no RP from Yao. He's going to get brought down before he can cast a single spell. ZSMJ takes down the Shrek, and now they move on to the rest. Zhao Wei on the DK. He's tanky as hell, but I don't think he can fight 5 heroes.
Oh, that's a BKB on the Juggernaut. There's no Healing Ward gems on the floor. Nobody cares about it. Look at the crits, the damage coming out. They bring him down. A buyback from Yao tries to turn this fight around. He will pick up a couple of kills. 1 kill for his team at that, and, well, there's your RP. He gets prevented from casting.
Cancelled.
That might just be Rat's ultra kill for XTT. 5 heroes dead. Skip the Roche. Forget about that. Yao is not available for this fight, and with that, that's Rax and possibly game.
Another hero play from Sangi. He dodged the shockwave with Blink Dagger and then finished off the lone Druid. He did end up dying to a skewer, but such a fantastic team fight. Everything going right for Vici Gaming and LGD. 5 heroes down. Only the support's about to respawn. This is at least Rax's, and this could be game.
ZSMJ wants his revenge versus LGD, and he may yet get it. They gave him his start, but he's ready to finish them here in the opening day. Inaugural action for the Dota 2 Super League. It looks like Vici Gaming 1 lane of Rax easily, possibly 2 or even 3. Mag still on the sidelines with no buyback for 30 seconds. The zip hit on a DDC. Vici Gaming, they smell blood in the water. They want some additional kills, and they will find 1. They get 1 lane of Rax. Do they back off? Do they go for more? They could easily transition into a Roach. LGD China, they feel their beat. They're gonna tap out, and you can't really blame them. Sensational play from VG Gaming. The student has become schooled by the master today. We've seen ZSMJ, but not necessarily the hero, but certainly did his part this game. VG Gaming across the board, a fantastic showing, and it really sets us up for a very exciting qualifier stage.
It's really scary for all the LGD fans out there. Like, okay, LGD got invited. Oh wait, they lost right. They're in the qualifier, no problem. They can just win the qualifier. Now it's like, well, there's Vici Gaming who are damn scary. We saw Rattlesnake yesterday in the AMD Premier League take a game off Zenith and almost beat them. They lost in a really awesome series that went 2-1 to Zenith. Rising Stars beat Orange Esports 2-0. So the 3 other Chinese teams in LGD's TI3 East qualifier are looking ridiculously strong. On top of that, you have teams like Myth Trust. LGD, I don't know how easy this qualifier is going to be for them.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about it all, Gods, is it's the same 5 players that were at the International 2. Sure, they added Long DD, but when it's all said and done, they brought DD back, so it's the same lineup. It's the same lineup that went undefeated all the way up until the winner bracket finals of the International 2, and there is oh boy, I forgot to mute the Chinese stream, but there is a chance that they won't go back, so we'll have to see what ends up happening, but Game 1 and Game 2 now in the books. Vici Gaming, they take the series. They open the Perfect World Dota 2 Super League with a 2-0 sweep of LGD. And just talking about this tournament, this is also a very, very stacked event. Both groups scary. And of course, I'm LD and Beyond the Summit. I was joined here today by God. Stay tuned, guys. We may have some post-game highlights and a little bit more analysis, but we are done with the official cast for today of the Dota 2 Super League. However, we're not done with our Dota 2 action. A little bit later today, we will be having the We Play.tv Dota 2 League playoffs continue right here on this very channel, twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. So don't move the dial. Stick around with us. We'll have more Dota 2 action coming your way. Stay tuned. It's coming up next. But for now, it's Vici Gaming. They're advancing a clean 2-0 sweep. They're advancing to first place in the group, as this is the first group stage match. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We Play.tv Dota 2 League coming up next.